couple minutes, and then we're going to let you guys go. So I do appreciate you guys coming down. A lot of folks, a lot of information you're taking in today. We'll try to start really at the high level. It's easy to get down into the weeds and talk about the basics of the parts, but really at the high level, what Rush Tracking Systems has done with this product called VisiblEdge. I'm Toby Rush. I'm President and CEO of Rush Tracking. With VisiblEdge, we're trying to provide visibility to warehouse operations so that they can better control their operations. So if you think about it, I want to control something, well, in order to control it, I have to see it. Okay? And within warehouses, within distribution centers, the things that are kind of moving most of our products, if kind of beyond the case pick, so we're now in palletized kind of pallet load, are the forklifts. So if I knew what a forklift was carrying and where it was at any given time, I could significantly increase my accuracy and my efficiency. So we do a lot of the business case work for our customers, really look into it. And a lot of folks spend a lot of time and effort and labor making sure they've got accurate inventory, making sure they get accurate, on-time, in-full shipments going out the door. There's a significant amount of non-value-added labor involved in those activities. So they may have 99.x% accuracy, but it's because they've got 2 cycle counters making sure they've got their pallets right. It's because they're double-checking their shipments on the outbound. So if I can put together and give them a system that every time they picked up a pallet, I told them what pallet is with no barcode scanner. I can tell them where their forklift is at any given point within a foot of their warehouse at all times, and all the location and load scanning goes away. So I get better accuracy on material movement, thus I don't make mistakes, thus I don't have non-value-added activities such as inventory reconciliation and searching and a lot of the shipping and receiving activities, in addition to doing away with the labor in the first place, so better utilization. So at a high level, we're trying to provide visibility to drive accuracy and efficiency in warehouse operations. Is there a question? Yeah, so the pieces and parts, so this is kind of the big picture view, and I'm going to go talk about some of the components in just a second. So we've got 2 trucks out here. We've got a little mini-me behind you, and kind of showing these trucks moving around. This truck is sitting right here. There's a human that we have lit up. You can see as they're moving around above, I'll get this again in a second, these are position markers, these little barcodes in the ceiling. One of our partners called Skytrax to help us get the location of where the truck is. But with this visibility on a map, an XY coordinate in business locations, when they do a pickup, you know where you're at, and do a put down, you know where you're at. This is kind of the details of what's happening. You'll see an unload event, a load event. This is the information we would send to Red Bird and Manhattan or SAP and kind of automate that material movement. So I'm going to step back over here a little bit and say, okay, how does that work? So kind of come this way. So we can convert from the standard run-of-the-mill forklift, so retrofit or coming from the dealer. There's 2 basic components. There's the load, so what am I carrying? There's an RFID reader, we've got some smarts, some antennas, some distance sensors, so I know when a pallet is entering the tips of the fork, I know when a pallet is right here at the edge or the backrest, so I know what I'm carrying. On the top of the truck, we have so that's kind of our armor pack. This is our power pack, so we draw power from the truck. We have a camera that's looking up. That's how we're getting our location. We have a little processor that's taking in all this data. We have a height sensor that tells us the height of the forks. And so with those 2 components, kind of armor pack for the load, power pack for where am I can tell you what I'm carrying and where I'm at anywhere in the warehouse. That's kind of the fundamental piece. You see here on the pallet, so you have this example we've kind of mocked up. I have an RFID tag on the pallet that says, hey, I've got, box 5011, and I can put it right over here in 5331 E5596. Nobody scans anything, no one does anything, they just drive. So you have a software layer above that called Orchestrator that can really, facilitate the operator interaction. One of the interesting things we found as we work with warehouse management systems is they get data that they want. So basically, if I tell an operator, go get this pallet, he may move 2 or 3 other pallets in an intermediate, but he never tells the system that he moved those 2 or 3 pallets, he just moves them out of the way. So with our system, we can actually automate. He pulls in, he picks up a pallet and it's in a staging area, he moves it out of the way. We'll generate a new work instruction and say, hey, put that back. That wasn't supposed to leave that locked or restricted location. Or if he's doing it correctly, he just walks and he drives up, pulls in the pallet that he wants. We look what work instruction matches the load that he just picked up, and it really facilitates his move. So he's not stopping the barcode scan, he's rarely stopping to think, and he's simply just driving. It's really facilitating the automation of the data collection and material being moved. So as you get more sophisticated, okay, great, now I've got accurate inventory. I've got accurate shipping. I've got better utilization. I know how often my trucks are moving, how often they're moving the product, how often they're moving the right stuff. You really start getting down to labor management, right? So the most costly piece of our system and supply chain are sort of people moving those things around. So if I have, okay, you've got 2 minutes standard labor time to do this move, and you take 2 minutes and 10 seconds, you do 190, over here David does 220. We don't know why you made or missed, we just know that you made or missed. Right? So with this system, we can actually go back and train and coach of, maybe you took, a lot of people driving frankly trying too slow. Maybe you were doing a 5 high right angle stack, and you're just really bad at doing a stack 5 balls high, and we can come back and do specific coaching based on what's going on. You can also do away with a lot of the unaccounted for, the non-standard type moves. We know when maybe the battery changes. We know when they go on break. We know when it's congested. So you can go back and kind of manage the exception and really enhance and really get even a couple % more above and beyond what an LMS would do. So you get accuracy, efficiency in inventory, and the non-value added search time and just inventory reconciliation.
It would enhance an LMS too.
Right, so you would sit on top of it.
Yeah,
so we get, right, and it's all the same system. So I still want the load and location that I would have had before. I can feed that to the WMS and or the LMS.
Is there an interface between, say, the operator here and what data you're collecting? Where's the interface? Or does it come later?
So
the manager comes down and says, by the way, we need to adjust.
So there's 2 ways. So if they've got kind of a tier 1 WMS, like a regular, and they've got a terminal, we would be feeding that terminal either to that location, that information. So we would feed that. If it's not a tier 1 WMS, maybe you have a piece of software that the operator would be looking at that would give them a lot more, it's called orchestrator, a lot of richer feel of how to interface with this system. And then of course there's a whole host of back-end reports that a supervisor could look at, or if they have to engineer, come back and do an analysis.
Very cool.
So I'm going to pause for a second. Questions?
Very cool.
Basic approach. So again, kind of the summary of what we're doing.
So integrated into existing WMS, obviously,
Yes.
LMS, whatever you're running.
Right. So what our system does, we're not trying to be a WMS, we're trying to give the LMS or WMS the information that they want. So we're limiting, in an ideal scenario, you'll pick up a barcode 2% of the time, a barcode scanner 2% of the time. 98% of the time, if you're doing things correctly, it's just going to run. It'll track what you're doing, how you're doing it, but it gives you the foundation to significantly enhance the labor productivity, route optimization, rack planning, use optimal planning, how you're doing staging. It's just kind of one of those foundational pieces of visibility, loaded location, and lots of other applications we built on top of.
Very cool.
Yeah. Other questions? Great. Well, our booth is right behind you. We'd be happy to answer in more detail if you'd like to. Once again, thanks for all the time. It's a long term with you guys here. Thanks for all the
Very good.
responses.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks a lot. Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.